Oh, the demented clown music. The demented clown. I love it. I love it. And I fixed it too.
Nice, nice. Here's a single to jingle your bells. This is the season.
This is like a big go. Yeah, tits the season. This is like a big gonad. Go, gonad.
Nice, nice, nice.
All right. Yes. Now, welcome everyone to Progressive Discussions, but this is a lighter note. It's sexuality, a holistic approach. And we're going to do some red pill alpha male talk too. Excuse me. I'm drinking some homemade wine that an old Italian geezer gives us every year for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
And it's not a wine glass. I have a good wine glass, but yeah, this is my favorite. What the hell you call that? A Cinco de Mayo style mug.
Nice.
All my mugs are from the Dollar Tree. Only $1. You got to be an educated consumer nowadays. Now here is my old friend and one of my original co-hosts, Mick Von Raven from Chicago, Illinois. How are you this week?
I'm working hard and glad it's the weekend.
Yeah, and you know what? Isn't it amazing how the weeks do fly by?
Sometimes, except for when you're working 10-hour days, they tend to drag a bit.
Yeah, well, that's like a sweatshop, man. 10 hours.
But I digress. We're here to talk about the swing of everything.
Boing! It is boing. I don't want to depress you with employment talk. That's when you're dealing with corporate America and companies, that's the other side of progressive discussions. But now I noticed that women, when women are in the company of men, and unless the woman brings up the subject, if men say something sensual, it could be a dirty joke, it could be anything about sex at all, even if it's not profanity, these women get offended. Women of all ages, they get bent out of shape when a man says anything. But when a woman says it, it's fine. Or better yet, when a woman is talking to her girlfriends, sometimes they can be dirtier than the men. So that's a double standard. That's a double standard.
Any overt sexuality is frowned upon by many people, and that, I mean, of course, there's a time and a place for everything. But things between a man and woman, should be no surprise that a man has a strong sexuality. After all, we don't have to give birth, so of course we don't mind, copulating. That's the thing. It's
copulating.
Yes,
copulate.
And it's in our DNA. We're just like the salmon go upstream to mate, and it's going to kill them, but it's in their DNA. So
and we love to swim up their stream.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a natural thing, and to act like it's so dirty and so wrong.
Look, even if I send a funny, dirty joke in a cartoon banner, there are a couple women that I know that do not get offended by any dirty joke. As a matter of fact, they laugh. But most of them, or many of them, I'd say they're in the majority, they get offended. But I'm sure they talk I can almost guarantee if I was a fly on the wall, they talk worse than men do. So I mean, I'm willing to bet. Now, for you guys out there that are young, make sure you take at least 50 milligrams of zinc. Take selenium, 200 micrograms, and natural vitamin E, 400 international units, which is D-alpha tocopherol, mixed tocopherol, but mostly the zinc, because zinc is very important in the growth and development of the genitalia, among other things, the immune system. But yeah, definitely do that. And you know, this is girls that say, or women that say that the size doesn't matter. Tell that to the women in all the porno movies. I mean, they're all like, you could just see their eyes bugging out, you know, when the guy drops his drawers and he's got a huge schlong. And women that are so anti-sex, they sure make a lot of noise when you're banging them. You know,
those that protest the most are actually the biggest freaks from what I've seen.
Yeah. Now when I first started going to nightclubs and stuff, the legal drinking age was 18 back then. And the girls that were showing, that had the real super short skirts on and they were showing a lot of cleavage, they were pretty much all show and no go. They were more or less teasers, but the ones that really followed through and were sexually assertive
and
and sexual freaks, they were dressed conservatively or classy.
Yes.
There was no cleavage. Their ass wasn't hanging out. But if they wear a classy, tight-fitted outfit, you can see what their butt is, what their butt looks like. The ass crack shows if they're wearing tight pants, like a lycra spandex or anything snug.
Pants, of course, yes.
You could see the shape of their ass if they have like that bubble butt when they stand sideways, and the ass crack. They don't have to have any flesh showing. But those are the ones that were the most sexual, were the ones that were dressed classy or more conservative. And the other ones were just simply cock teasers. And another thing that happened in clubs, if one girl, if a girl was out with her female friends and one of them was talking to you a decent part of the evening, and she was with you for a while, and you're talking, and the other girls are not meeting anybody, her friends are not meeting anyone, they'll try to cock block or
yes,
they'll try to sabotage you and their girlfriend by dragging her off into the ladies' room to have the talk.
Yes,
the talk, which is actually sabotaging and to get her away from you. So they might say negative things in the ladies' room to her about you, because why? It's sour grapes. They're not meeting anyone. No one's talking to
them. Well, the funny thing is, women need to be a little more honest with themselves at times, I think. Men too. I mean, woman calls you a pervert. Naturally, most men are perverts. That's the way our brains are made.
Well,
those that cock block, those are the worst kind, because why is it convenient they have to all of a sudden go to the bathroom at the same exact time? Yeah, and so they can talk about. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, they don't all really have to go to the ladies' room at once.
No, they don't.
And you know what? Jealous male friends can also cock block, but they won't try to stop the male friend from talking to the girl. What they'll do is they'll try to take the girl away from you.
Yes.
by mocking you and
or bragging, one-upping you.
bragging about themselves.
Yeah, one-upmanship.
They will literally cock block, but they can care less how many women their male friends talk to. So though with a female, they use the other technique, and it's like just so many double standards. Uh, it can be in making money. They want equality. We talked about it before. When it comes to making money, they want equality. Well, when it comes to the social aspect of life, they want the man to do everything, pay for everything, make the first move. And even if you're working with them and they're getting a decent pay comparable to you, if when it comes to lifting something, all of a sudden they're not feminists anymore. They're weak. So they'll call over the guys to help her or to do her job.
Some of them do. Some of them do it themselves and look like they're going to hurt themselves, men and women, where I work.
Well, that's good. At least they're making an effort,
Well, the worst, though, is when you go out in public and the person you came with treats you like the invisible man and you don't really hang out with them all night and you came with them. So
well, you mean they're social butterflies. They have
don't even know you're in the room most of the night. It's pretty rough.
So you're alone at a party, and they're making their rounds, talking to other men.
Yes, having the time of their lives.
Right, and you're by yourself, and heaven forbid you should start having conversations with females at the party.
That wouldn't go well. Yeah, that
wouldn't go well. But she's allowed to talk.
Yes,
to guys.
Yes, of course.
Now that's a huge double standard.
Yes, it is. I think I wouldn't do that. If I come with somebody, I'm loyal to them. That's the way I am.
Yeah, well, what are you supposed to do at this social event? Be by yourself while she's talking to anybody she feels like.
Every Tom, Dick, and Harry that walked by. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, actually, if you drove, then you're in the driver's seat, which means what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If she's talking to men and you're bored by yourself, you start having conversations with people. That's all. You got to do something. So what's she going to do? She's not going to leave you stranded because you're the one that drove.
Yeah, sometimes it's more local and there's no driving involved.
And better yet. Well, you know what? That's disrespectful to the so-called boyfriend. If a girl is doing that, that's disrespectful. So, you have the right, being that you're alone and bored and she's talking to everybody, you should be able to do it too. But anyway, when it comes to females, there's so many double standards. Feminism in itself, except for true feminists that are honest about their feminism. The women that just jump on the feminist gravy train because it means higher pay, they'll say they're feminists, but when it's time to get serious, they want a beta male sucker to
bankrupt everything,
to pay for every damn thing. The bills, the rent or mortgage, everything, you name it. And then they want gifts. Otherwise they cry and say, oh, you don't take me anywhere. You don't do anything for me.
You don't bring me no flowers. Well, it won't be special if I bring you flowers every time I see you.
Somebody nagged me to bring flowers, which die in a couple days. What I would do is I would bring a bag of whole wheat flour, corn flour. I would bring flour actual flour for her to bake bread for me.
Nice.
Semolina flour to make pizza dough.
Nice.
I mean, high gluten. Yeah, I would bring actual flour in bags, and she would think she's getting flowers.
That's funny.
Oh, to you guys out there, speaking of flowers, or in the old days they called them posies. You want to make them last? Don't put those expensive rip-off roses in a vase of water. Tie the stems, hang them upside down on a nail, and they become perfect dry flowers, just the way they are when they're fresh. They'll become dry flowers,
and they'll last a lot longer, right?
Oh, a lot longer. Oh yeah.
Well, one thing I wanted to mention,
Sure.
when you're with a partner and you're making love, sometimes it seems like the love making isn't really connecting you, the souls and such, that one person's off in one land and one's off in another. I mean, there's got to be more in syncness and more concern about your partner. And, you show concern about them, they need to show the same concern about you. Your pleasure, your enjoyment, your climax.
It takes two to dance the salsa, I mean, it's not gonna. If you're a one-man band, it's not gonna work.
Well, sometimes it seems like they're enjoying themselves, and then when it's your turn, they just seem to want to hurry up and finish.
Yeah. Like if they want oral sex, they want to have a dozen orgasms, but when it comes to doing what pleases you, they're all like put off by it, like, oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, that's disgusting. Oh, you want to do that? Why do you want to do that for? Oh, and what about the infamous cuddling?
Well, you should cuddle afterwards, but many women don't even want to do that anymore. When you're exhausted.
Well, cuddling. The only good thing about cuddling afterwards is it leads to more sex. Because if you're cuddling in a spoon fashion,
yeah,
and you start grinding,
of course, yes.
And then you can bang her sideways, like the way a crab walks sideways. You can bang her in the spoon position, and you may have to lift her top leg up a little, but that's the only good thing about cuddling is it leads. Eventually, when you recharge your batteries, it leads to more sex.
Well, the other thing I don't understand is how come women don't know already we're fascinated with their breasts? Of course we are. We're men. We touch them 24/7. We want to touch their butts every time we kiss them. We're men.
Well, they're obsessed with men with a great ass. And ass is not a sexual organ.
For a man, it isn't unless he's that way. But for women, it is a sexual organ. If you're nice to it.
The ass, which is the gluteus maximus, it's a
muscle.
It's the largest, strongest muscle in the body. It's a muscle.
Yes, it is.
The breast is for lactation, not for sexual intercourse. But men love it, especially.
We love them. That's that's who we are. And the whole idea that you're a pervert. Oh, you want too much. Oh, it's our DNA. That's the way we roll. And I was made that way like a long time ago when I was like 4 years old. So
what about the nipples? These girls that have these big oven stuffer roaster thermometers popping out.
That's just lovely. I love them all.
The thick, long nipples that you can chew like rawhide.
But you gotta be careful. They get very upset if you gotta be gentle. That is a given.
I mean, you can't bite it like a pit bull terrier.
Being a tender lover is a lot more important than a lot of things people don't realize.
I like tenderloin.
The thing is, treat somebody nicely and they'll want to be with you again. It's like
the clitoris.
find it, know it, and become very friendly with it. Don't overstimulate it, though. That's the thing. It's a very tricky little thing. You've got to stimulate it, lay off, stimulate it, lay off. You can't keep constantly stimulating. It'll get numb and it won't work.
It'll get numb and it'll become desensitized.
You got to tease it. You got to please it. You got to be with it. Just don't overdo it. It's not like a penis. It's different. A penis needs constant friction. A clitoris needs semi-constant friction. And
semi-constant, intermittent.
Exactly. And the thing about it is you have to be the kind of lover that someone's going to appreciate, not someone that they think is selfish. Selfish lovers, nobody wants to be with them again. They only care about themselves and not what happens to the partner. Because to me, it's all about pleasing the partner. That pleases me. That's a man's role, to make a woman feel good, and then she'll hopefully make you feel good after that.
Now, does a woman? It's funny how the clitoris is so far. Well, not far, but it's up from the vaginal hole. Now, did a woman ever tell you that she can have an orgasm just by penetration of the vagina without touching the clitoris? Or
no? Something hits the clitoris, either you or they rub it. They know what they're doing. They're not gonna. So maybe when I was younger, some women claimed to have orgasms from just intercourse, but no, you've got to. That definitely has to be in the equation to make it happen.
Like if the woman, if you're in a missionary position, your pelvic bone is grinding her.
Yes.
Clitoris. If they're on top of you, riding you, which in my opinion is the best all-round position, and I'll tell you why. Their clitoris is grinding your pelvic bone also, except they're on top. The great thing about a woman being on top is she can control the angle and the motion to the way she likes it. Okay. You can massage her ass cheeks as she's on top of you. You can play with and suck her nipples and play with her breasts while she's on top of you, because if she has breasts, they're flopping in your face. You can kiss her on the neck. You can kiss her on the lips, and you can massage her back. You can do all these things which are within reach when a woman is riding you, as opposed to the man.
Hands on their back. They love that when they're on top. Just essentially rub your hands.
Yeah. Now, of course, deep penetration. Nothing beats doggy style for deep penetration.
Well, the thing I've noticed as I've gotten older is certain women, you find a position that's the best with that particular partner, and you could try the other positions, but you realize, hey, this position is the best we have, and it's not that I like to do that or I want to do that; it just happens naturally. Some positions doggy style, some position missionary, some on top. It just varies on the person you're with, and their needs and their pleasures and how you physically match up. You don't always match up a certain way.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, when a man tries to bang a fat chick, that is the most challenging, because you have to roll her around in flour to find the wet spot. I mean,
oh boy.
I mean, it's difficult.
Moldy, but moldy. Well, you gotta. That's usually where doggy style comes in handy.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Now, you have to have a PhD in cunning linguistics.
Well, that's dangerous. I love to do it, but the danger of throat cancer, you just don't know what you're getting into now, and it's sad because I love to.
The vaginal secretions, just like a man's semen, can carry any number of microbes, right?
The HPV is giving many men throat cancer, and some are dying from it. And I love women. I love life too, and I'd love to kiss women down there, but I don't want to die. And I don't know how you can have a fail-safe that they don't have HPV. Maybe if they've seen a doctor recently and they never had it, I don't know. But
now they got a vaccine for it. They're advertising.
you know what the problem is? Many of the women that have it are older and never got the vaccine. And the vaccine doesn't protect from every version of HPV. I think it protects against the deadly cancerous HPV, though.
Yeah, and of course, a virus cannot be seen because our eyeballs are not electron microscopes. So
this is because I'm yawning with my mouth shut, so it looks like I'm frowning, but I'm not. I'm trying to yawn with my mouth shut. I did have that 10-hour day today, so I'm a little.
well, this is no. These shows are not scripted. They're not censored. You can do anything you want.
I'll start yawning, then it will.
You can yawn. You can fart. You can do whatever. But it's now the woman's so-called G-spot. I learned what it was.
I've had it once or twice. It's not that easily found.
Well, it's inside and up and
curved. It's curved.
Well, at the beginning, you feel like rough ridges, and then it's right immediately past those rough ridges on the upper wall of the vagina. So what it is when a fetus, embryo, fetus, whatever, hasn't made its decision if it wants to be male or female, it has the beginnings of a prostate. Very tiny and minute, but the beginning's just the same.
You got bumped there. What were you saying?
Oh, the fetus or the embryo,
when it's making the decision,
before it becomes either gender, it has the beginnings of a potential prostate gland, but tiny, minute. So let's say the baby becomes a female. All right, now the fetus or the embryo. Now this tiny prostate that was just waiting in the wings, it's still there, except it stays tiny in a female baby. When the female baby is born, this beginnings of a prostate, underdeveloped or premature, or whatever you want to call it, remains there. And then the female grows up, and that's the G-spot. So supposedly there is a secretion that comes out of this tiny, underdeveloped, premature prostate that is just left over from being
that's where the G-spot's located.
That is the G-spot. It's like so when you go in, I called it, back when we didn't have these terrible diseases, I called it my Captain Hook method, where you go in like you're saying, come over here, come over here. You go in and up and you hook, tap, hook. As you're licking the clit, you're going this way.
Well, I did have hit a G-spot with penetration one time. It's incredible, because G-spot is part vaginal excretion and also urine. It's a combo.
It's a combo. You know who taught me about the Captain Hook method of hooking and tapping? This black girl. She was a female bodybuilder that I dated.
Nice.
Black girl, yeah. And I used to call her my little plum tomato because she had a big clit. It was shaped
steroids, because that's how they get clits.
It was shaped like a little punching bag. So, but like a plum tomato,
Taking steroids, that's how the clits get big.
Maybe she was on the juice.
Yeah, that's what happens. You aren't born with large clits automatically. The other thing I like is someone fresh out of the shower and you perform cunnilingus and analingus on them. That's nice when you do it with the right person.
I mean, when they're clean and they don't have that yeast Limburger cheese.
You know, yeah, anything in the back door, you want that extra clean before you even think of going back there with your tongue.
Patty cake baker's man. When the chick's on the rag, bang her in a can.
Well, you know, the other thing is you have to. There's an adage, you know, you put your finger where you're gonna first, then you put your tongue there second, then you put your dick there third, and it's always, of course, gentle and with permission. Anything you do.
What about these girls in porn that take the fisting?
You know, that's something that I could not. I just despise fisting in pornography. It's horrible.
It's like they're like forcing the hole, either hole, to be much wider.
Well, they have ones where they're shading out basketballs, or not quite basketballs, but softballs and baseballs. They've shoved them up there and they're shading them out. It's insane. You know, it's like, hey, look what we can do on video. Yeah, but you shouldn't do everything you can do.
Or maybe like billiard balls, you know, cue balls. Yeah. It's not. It's like a novelty. It's like the scat movies where the girls are you know, shitting on each other and they're eating the shit.
Well, you know, that's actually not real poop. You know that, right? That's,
what is it? Ice cream?
That's something they've had inserted. So, because if you had any of that stuff near you, you'd barf. You know, our species is made to be horrifically smelling and bad because it's bad for us.
Well, that's why it's coming out.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's trying to call me. Hold on a second. Let me make sure it's not my mom. Take over for a sec, okay?
Okay. Oh, greetings, everyone. Commandante James here. Progressive discussions can be seen on YouTube, Facebook, and Tumblr. Oh,
it was a spam call, of course, naturally. Spam.
Well, my Android phone tells me right on the top, spam.
Well, this is my home phone. Comcast makes me keep it or they'll raise my rates. That old scam.
Oh, the triple package?
Yeah. You know, where they win and they win again.
You know, I mean, I said to them, you know how sophisticated smartphones are and how many people have them, and nobody cares about a home phone anymore.
Ooh, I'm belching a lot because I had a cheesy beef on garlic bread for dinner, for Friday dinner.
A Chicago, a hot
beef with hot jardiniere, cheesy beef, we call it, and I get that on garlic bread. That's good to go. I got over at Mr. Beef. I had a coupon.
Yeah, Mr. Beef.
Yeah, that's the name of the place, Mr. Beef.
You know what? Do they have a website? I like to joke about it.
Sure, Mr. Beef does.
Mr. Beef.
Yeah, Mr. Beef.
What a ideal restaurant for you to plug on a show like this.
They're actually quite good. They're family owned. They've been around since '81, and the son took over. The father, he's gone now, and the son runs it. He got a couple of.
The original Mr. Beef is not so beefy anymore.
No, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So the other thing I'm finding is, as far as dating goes, I don't know, women don't seem to want to take chances. I don't know if it's COVID or related, or they're just, I don't know, there's not many people out there, you know. There's some that'll tell you things like, oh, I need to lose 100 pounds, and those aren't the women you're looking for. I mean, no offense, but that's quite a lot you have to lose.
That's a lot of weight.
100 pounds, that's, you know,
they're obese.
Yeah, if you need to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds, okay, I understand that, but not 100.
No. Oh, well, 10 or 20 pounds, it could be evenly distributed throughout the woman's body, where to the point where she still has a figure. You know, curvaceous, but she has a figure. But not somebody who's out of proportion, who's got fat cellulite legs and ass and hips, and it's just a disgusting cellulite just jiggling all over, or she's obese.
Well, men can be obese too, so yeah, it's bad news.
No, a man. Listen, a man who's totally sloppy and out of shape and flabby and I mean has no right to be mocking women that are overweight if he's not himself in shape. Well, still, even if he's in shape, it's not nice to go around mocking people's physiques. You know that's
You just know what you're attracted to and what you're not. You know, you don't have to say it. You know it instantly.
yeah. You know it. You know, if somebody is obese and they hit on you, you say thank you, but no thank you. You know, you be polite, and you know you can use the excuse I use, which is I don't feel any. There's no romantic chemistry between us.
Well, it has to be a two-way street. Yeah, if you're attracted to somebody and they're not to you, forget it, and vice versa. It's got to be full on both of you.
Well, then you might as well call the girl your roommate, a platonic relationship. I mean, if there's no romantic chemistry, you know, like some of these women, well, a lot of them, especially online, they're trying to find
Mr. Perfect.
Well,
6'3".
Yeah, well, they
fully employed as a doctor or a lawyer.
Yeah, well, that's the gold digger. No, what I meant was they're too much obsessed with having the perfect psychological match for them. Like almost like they're not that they're looking for a carbon copy of themselves, but they're too much into the psyche, into the mind. What do they call that? Sapiosexual, something like that. A woman who's into intelligent men, like geeks, you know, like
yeah, they're turned on by intelligence and don't care what the guy looks like.
Yeah, he could look like Woody Allen, you know, but the point is that aside from the personality, aside from how nice the guy is, aside from if he has interesting hobbies, if he has a strong moral compass, blah blah blah. Regardless, either romantic chemistry is there from day one, or it's not.
Yeah, you can't kind of like somebody and hope to love them later.
This is why I tell people that these dating websites that advertise about their psychologically designed questionnaire, and if you're honest about answering all the questions of the questionnaire, your chances of meeting that special someone, the soulmate, you know, will be much greater. Let me tell you something. You could throw all that psychological questionnaire right out the window, because if there's no
spark,
there's no fireworks, no spark, there's no chemistry, the right chemistry, it's not going to happen. It wasn't meant to be. I don't care how many questionnaires you fill out. It's something that just clicks, or it doesn't.
Exactly.
And this is the mystery of romance between two humanoids.
Well, you know, back in the day, they used to have arranged marriages. In some countries, they still do, and they'd grow to love each other.
Yeah, right. Like India. You know what the Indian guy I worked with says to me? There's a trial period that if the arranged marriage between the two is just not working out, you're allowed to wrap them in a FedEx box and send them right back.
Wow.
No, yeah, you're allowed to say, well, it's not working out, Mom and Pop. I think it's ridiculous.
Arranged marriages, yeah, they are ridiculous. You don't even know the person.
The worst people to hook any young person up is their parents. That's the worst people that can hook you up, because you know what they're gonna hook you up with? First priority. How much money does he have? Why do they do that? Tell you why.
Get the dowry.
Daddy-o is getting a little cheap in his old age, and he doesn't want his daughter hitting on him for money.
Yes.
So they want to see, hey, there's something in it for them too. If they hook their daughter up with a doctor or a lawyer, that means the doctor or lawyer will be rolling in dough, and he'll be able to possibly take care of them.
Yeah, that's what some people think.
That's what they think, especially from the old country, because they're very, if they're older generation, old country, they're very materialistic. They're very, you know, the first words out of their mouth, what does he do for a living? What does he do? Right away. It's like when they used to give a dowry.
Yes.
To like in China, not in the big cities, in the rural area, in the farmland, all the villages in the farmland area, the man has to pay the girl's father. I was going to say parents, but women are still sort of like second-class citizens.
In China, yeah.
If the man wants to get serious with the girl, he has to pay the girl's father a certain amount of money, like he's selling her off.
That's crazy, isn't it? Well, then that's a mouth they don't have to feed. That's what it really is all about. You know, most of them are poverty stricken.
Yeah, well, it's like
out of the house, and there's one less child to feed.
It's like the sad story. One time they had a documentary about Bangkok, Thailand, where, you know, some of these poor families have so many children that the father literally sells some of his daughters off to prostitution.
Yeah, birth control.
It's 9 o'clock.
What they should be doing there. You know.
Oh, yeah, we have a female guest.
That's my my computer. I have it on a female's voice to tell me what time it is.
Oh, I thought that was a robotic female, an android that wanted to.
No, it's my Apple computer has always told me what time it is.
Speaking of androids, have you seen those lifelike Japanese android robots? These very.
I've seen them, yeah, but what is that, like the perfect mate? Because they'll never talk back to you. I don't know. What's the fun?
No, they actually have a personality. Like they develop a personality as you communicate with them. They're
sexual organs too. Fake ones.
They're highly, well, yeah, probably silicone based, but.
Yeah.
But they're very intelligent. They talk to you like a robot.
How much do they cost? Thousands of dollars?
Probably. And you don't have to take them out for dinner. You just plug them in.
Oh, God.
I wonder if they come with a clapper. Clap on.
Yeah, I still like the body heat. The natural body heat is, you know, the hot.
They produce body heat.
You know, one other thing, I don't understand these porn stars that are getting their assholes bleached. Part of your pigment of your sexuality is one of the sexiest things ever, I think, when you see someone as they are, and then you start interacting sexually with them, and you see their different pigment and their birthmark, and that's beauty. That's natural beauty to me. Why dirty it up by getting rid of it? I never understood that.
Yeah, they're trying to get their anus to be the same color as the rest of their body.
No, the pigment on the vagina and the anus and the penis, you know, it's all unique. And you know, I look at my penis, I see the outline of what would have been a vagina if I was a female. There's a pigment to that effect. And
I didn't know that. I know the shaft is dark.
Yeah, and pigment is it's when you really, how do I say this? You know somebody, you feel a connection when you see their private personal pigment, and it's part of your life, and you love them and make love with them. And I don't see any reason to ever get rid of your pigment on your sexual organs or your rectum. It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that naturally comes with being a human. I mean, it's,
in a sense, when you start seeing these things and interacting with them, it does something inside of you. It really turns you on, I think, because you know this person carnally now very well, and that you know that that private pigment is part of your sexuality with them. I think it's a beautiful thing. I could not understand why anyone would ever bleach any part of their body.
Now there's a controversy going on about whether to circumcise or not.
I had no say so. Mine was done without my permission. I've heard that if you're not circumcised, it's all sensitive, but you know that ship sailed for me when I was born, so I couldn't make that choice.
I was circumcised for religious reasons. You know, when you're baptized.
Yes.
You know, it's like they say there's more sensitivity if you don't get circumcised. Others say it doesn't matter.
Without having it, we don't miss it because we don't know it. But yeah, there are those. They are kind of unsightly though. Uncircumcised penises aren't as
like a hole. It looks like a cannoli.
Yeah, circumcised penises are much more attractive. I prefer mine being uncircumcised for the look of it. But yeah, I heard they said they circumcised because guys would get infections because they wouldn't keep it clean in there. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it should be a choice. You should be allowed to make a choice, not have a choice made for you.
Well, you take a shower. You pull the foreskin you pull the hose back. I mean you pull the flesh back.
It's not that difficult to keep yourself clean and not get infections. But like I said, I wasn't allowed that choice. So I think it should be more of a personal choice when the person's the right age and they can decide. And I don't mean 7 years old, like these people that are deciding they're different genders at 7. I think they still don't really know.
Yeah, well, it's painful. I hear when you. My brother had it done late, and
I'm sure it doesn't feel good. I'm sure it's not a good time.
Yeah, it's painful. Well, look at how many people have swamp ass. People that don't wash their anuses.
Ugh. Like Red Fox, I almost said Fred Sanford. Like Red Fox would say in his bits, "Wash your ass, girl."
He was right.
Yeah, wash that son bitch. Come on now.
Yeah, get the soap suds in there and wash it, because that's a very that's probably the most unsanitary part of your body. I mean, second to the armpits.
Yeah, you got to keep yourself right, or nobody's gonna want to be around you.
Yeah, I mean, years ago when I worked with seafood, there was a Grateful Dead concert nearby, and all these groupies, these hippie chicks,
unbathed, of course, right?
They had all the hair on their legs, their armpits. It looked like 2 tumbleweeds under their arms.
Or what?
Their bush was probably huge with tomato plants growing in it.
Hippies don't normally bathe. That's part of their thing.
Oh, and they stunk to high heavens.
Yeah, I bet.
They stunk to high heavens. But yeah, I mean, cleanliness is pretty important. That's probably
they used to say, right? Cleanliness next to godliness.
Yeah. Well, when you shave, like the hairs do trap body odor. As far as like from a woman's standpoint,
well, the urine, it traps the smell of the urine.
It traps like body odor. It comes from Brevibacteria. And the funny part is it's the same bacteria they used to make Limburger cheese.
Whoa, I don't know.
Brevis, Brevibacteria.
Thanks so much, Limburger.
Yeah, I've had imported Limburger, and it smelled like dirty diapers.
I bet. Ugh.
But it's any fermentation of any food is medicinal.
Nowadays, most women shave completely. Most of the women I've known. The thing about it, though, is pubic hair does protect you from sexually transmitted diseases.
Yeah. What is the purpose of pubic hair?
Stop the microbe from going into the vagina.
So it's like the eyebrows block like perspiration from getting in your eyes.
Sometimes they do, and if you're real sweaty, it doesn't help. If you're. But yeah, the pubic hair on men too is supposed to protect, and it's always important to urinate after intercourse to clear out your urethra and such. Always try to make sure you.
Well, that urge comes. No pun intended. CUM. That urge does come because I noticed that it's like when you first get out of bed, you have the urge to urinate. When you get it, if you get the pee hard on, the morning wood is most likely, unless if nobody's stimulating you, it's usually your body's way of preventing you from peeing in your pants while you're sleeping.
I thought it was a way for you to poke holes in your mattress.
Yeah, it could be that. Well, the pee hard on is much harder.
Yeah, when you have to pee and you have an erection, it's the worst. You got to aim just right, or it's going to be all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, it sprays. It fans out.
I used to pee in 2 different directions when I was younger, and I was told that was actually a strong urethra that you did when you did that.
Well, you gotta sometimes you gotta bend sideways or you can just sit down.
I try not to do that yet. I haven't had I haven't been emasculated to start sitting and peeing yet.
No, I sit when I'm tired. Like if I'm too tired to have to.
So you don't piss all over the place. You do that.
Well, in other words, if I get out of bed and I'm tired, and I have to go to the bathroom. I go in there. Then first I got to turn the light on. Then I got to lift the toilet seat up. Then I got to pull my pants down, and I have to worry about aiming.
Yeah, especially if you're just woke up, your brain is like a computer, and it does take a little while to power it up.
If I'm not aiming properly, I gotta clean up the toilets. I gotta clean the edge of the seat.
You could piss on your underwear beneath if you're really sloppy.
Or it could spray all over the place. Now I gotta clean it up.
Yeah.
Besides washing my hands, pulling my pants up, turning the light off. Now, if I sit down to urinate, I don't have to put the light on. I could feel the toilet seat fine.
When you do that in the middle of the night, like wake up in the middle.
Yeah, I just sit and pee, and you don't have to worry about aiming. You don't have to worry about making a mess. Yeah, that's what I do. I do it. I mean, nobody's watching me. Nobody's
judging you.
Yeah, I'm here. Nobody's in there but me. I mean, and it's efficiency. It's like it's just common sense way to urinate, because it takes away all those extra chores that I have to do. Now, if I'm tired or lazy, I don't feel like washing my hands, I'll grab some toilet paper and I'll touch myself with the toilet paper. Now I just tossed a little piece of toilet paper out. I don't have to wash my hands now.
Well, let's change the subject to something more exciting.
Oh, you mean me urinating? Is that okay?
Sitting down, not quite as exciting.
Ratings. Yeah, but it's ratings. Hold on. Ratings.
You know what? Some of the women I find the most attractive are mixed race women.
Oh, they're the most attractive.
Oh, beautiful women.
Remember Vanessa Williams?
I also think brunettes. I don't know what it is about a brunette compared to a blonde. To me, a brunette is so much sexier and more. They're more real to me. That's my own attraction.
Picture in your mind, girls like Halle Berry.
Oh, I love her.
The singer that I find extremely attractive, Sade. Remember from the 90s?
She was beautiful.
Smooth operator, yeah, Sade. These are mixed race women.
Oh, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
And of course, Vanessa Williams, she was mixed race. She's very light. I think one of her parents was pure Caucasian.
That's what I find so funny. Everyone's so racist and so race triggered, and then all the beautiful people are mixed race. So,
Barack Obama's mother is 100% Irish.
Mixed race. The world,
She's Irish.
We're all going to be mixed, you know. It's just part of the natural selection.
I mean, Tiger Woods is half Thailand and half black.
Yeah, I mean, all the mixed race people are the beautiful people of the world.
You know, especially when you have black and white mix, you have some stunningly beautiful women. I've seen them, and you could tell immediately. The Dominican Republic is a mixed race, Caribbean Latino people. They have a lot of influence from the slaves that the Spaniards brought there. So they have some of them look Spaniard, like Cubans. Some of them look Spaniard. Some of them are light. Some of them are very dark. Some of them are brown. You know, the Taino Caribbean Indians. You know, they kind of got absorbed by everybody. You know how Cortez was, in order to get the Aztecs to stop attacking the Spanish conquistadors.
Yeah,
they told their men to fraternize with the Aztec women and have relationships with them, and that's what got them to stop attacking.
Because they were hitting on their women.
And those were the first Hispanic people, the babies from the Spaniard. Well, first of all, the Europeans tried to steal everything from Native Americans. So, you know, I don't have any good feelings about the European settlers.
Yeah, I don't have any misconceptions. They were definitely out to steal the land. They did that in Australia too, by the way. They stole the land there as well.
Did you know the British criminals that were exiled to the Botany Bay area?
The settlers of Australia that took the land from the Aborigines.
You know, they enslaved the Aborigines at one point.
Yeah, I do. It's some bad stuff.
They had them in chains, and well, Australia was a penal colony because Australia has so many poisonous creatures, so many, you know, dangerous creatures.
Snakes about as big as, spiders as big as a plate.
Yeah, huntsman spider. Yeah, they got, and look, a lot of snakes. The brown snake. A lot of poisonous snakes in Australia.
Oh, I'm sure of it. Well, I meant to mention, you know, with social media, every single quote unquote woman wants what's your hangouts? Do you have Google Hangouts? Do you have you know, what's the other one that Facebook? What's up? The WhatsApp? And they never ever want to talk on the phone. They want to just message you. Well, so one of them tried to call me, and it was a man. And I said, I know you're a dude. Leave me alone. Oh, that's just the way I sound. Yeah. It's just, they're trying to basically scam you for money. You know, I say to them, if you want to talk to me, we'll talk on the phone. I'm not going to message you the rest of my life. It's a crock. It always leads up to the same thing. They request money from you.
Well, they're scammers. That's why.
Yeah, and the one I said to this person, I'm not going to chat with you anymore until we talk on the phone. Somebody calls, it's a man. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, you're a man. I'm going to go now. No, I'm not. That's just the way I talk. Yeah, okay. It was bizarre. I'm like, so you want some cash? I just thought to myself, you want some cash, don't you? You're not getting any.
You know, the only way you can verify a person's identity is if you're having, if their internet connection is decent and yours is decent, and you have a nice crystal clear video chat.
Exactly.
Video chat that eliminates the blind date.
Yeah.
That eliminates a woman using old photos or fake photos. A scammer will use fake photos. That eliminates bad photos. Like if a woman only has photos on her profile from the chin up, she's obese. If a woman is an old bag, her photos will be kind of blurry and old looking, or she'll be far away. If women's photos, where you got the woman standing like 50 feet away, that means they're trying to hide something.
Well, a lot of people, men and women online, use phony photos or photos that are like 20 years old.
Yeah. Now, they should update, but it still doesn't mean that it's good enough if they have updated new photos. You still need the video chat to verify their identity.
Yeah.
Especially you want to see if there's chemistry. A good video chat with a high megapixel device.
Yeah.
You can tell if there's romantic chemistry right away. You have a conversation with them.
We just hit the 1 hour mark. How do you want to wrap it up soon?
Yeah, I sent invitations to a couple.
And no winner.
We'll wrap it up soon because, you remember the rule I wanted to go by was
interaction.
If it's just me and you, 1 hour.
Yeah.
1 hour maximum. 45 minutes to an hour. I say 45 minutes because the 15 minutes is like miscellaneous stuff. But even like an hour. I mean, we went an hour. Of course, we covered a lot of territory, and we ended with good advice about the video chatting because
covered from the button to the butthole.
From the button to the butthole, and you know how many women have told me, well, usually older women that are probably lonely, told me they got suckered into sending some guy money because
men too get suckered into it. You wouldn't give people money off the street. Why would you give it to a complete stranger? Because they chatted with you online. It's all a scam.
I said to her, stop and think for one moment. If a man claims that he is an engineer and he's on a business trip overseas, don't you think he would have enough money to fly back home again? Why is he asking you for money for hotel, airline? He's an engineer that's on a business trip.
I'm from New York City, but I'm currently in Honduras. Yeah, okay. Good luck. Bye.
This dude was in Europe somewhere, and he needed a favor, and he asked this very naive, stupid older woman for money, and
she gave it to him.
She sent like $3 or $4 grand to this.
Oh my God, that's travesty.
I mean, you got to be a real sad sack to do that.
Well, and maybe wealthy and don't care, or not wealthy and don't care. I don't know.
But you got to. I said, did you verify his identity with video chatting? Oh, he said his.
Yeah, the phone's always broken. Always
broken. The Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi's terrible.
Yeah, always the same. They want money to upgrade the phone to talk to you. Send me the money and I'll upgrade it.
You know what they used to have in the early days of Facebook? They have these scammers use the photographs of young, attractive Caucasian like models, right, from the United States, and they would put down that they're from an American, United States, American city, whatever. Okay, on the profile. Then all of a sudden later on they say, well, right now I'm in Ghana, Africa. I go, red flag.
Yeah, I had one that had a brother that was Zimbabwe and she was white. I'm like, yeah, that's not your brother. Oh,
how does a very pretty young Caucasian female that looks like a model, how and why are they in Zimbabwe?
They're not.
I mean, getting bitten by tsetse flies and you got the leprosy, God knows what else, Ebola. What does a girl like that do?
You got the terrorist group in Africa that kill young girls. Those sons of bitches.
Yeah, what's with that?
What was the name of that organization? I forget.
cowards.
They were Muslim or something, and they killed young girls.
They murdered young girls, which means
Bogota, wasn't that it?
no. Bogota is the capital of Colombia, South America.
What is the name of the terrorist organization?
They don't have the balls to fight real men in a real war. They have to kill young females like a bunch of pussies. Unbelievable. It's evil to me. It's got to be demonically motivated. It has to be. No.
Boko Haram. I looked it up. Boko Haram. Those are the sons of bitches that killed beautiful young girls.
You know, I agree with Marco Rubio during the campaign when he talked about carpet bombing some of these areas in the world, like, you know, where these real sick extremists are. Just wipe them off the face of the earth. Really, you can't negotiate and rehabilitate evil. You can't.
I hear some noise, James. Are you whacking it over there like that one fella on camera?
No.
Who was that guy? He was in a business meeting and they caught him whacking it. He got fired. Don't you remember? That just happened like a week ago.
Oh, if you find the article, send it to me.
Yeah, it was somebody on CNN or something, and they caught him slapping the sausage.
Oh, that was Tubin. His last name was Tubin.
He was playing with his tubin.
Well, the joke was they called him Lubin with Tubin.
Yeah, he was on a conference call and he was whacking it. I mean, how turned on can you be in a conference call?
I think he was speaking with
a hot woman or something.
His journalist, whatever.
Co-host.
The correspondent. What do they call them? News correspondents.
Okay.
You know, the chicks that work for a news network.
Yeah, spokeswomen or.
Yeah, they're not all journalists. I mean, some of them are just news correspondents.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And he was whacking off. It reminds me of Anthony Weiner.
Yeah, sending his wiener to anyone that he could think of.
You know, I'm surprised.
He got baited into sending that underage girl one. It was political sabotage because they were embarrassed from him, I think.
Well, some people say his attractive Arabic wife was turned lesbian and was having an affair with Hillary, doing some carpet munching, and he didn't get she cut off the sex. She wasn't getting any.
So he texted wiener to anyone he could, see if the girls would come by or something.
I would listen. If I think the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, they should have hired him to drive the Oscar Mayer.
Yeah. Well, it all went south once he texted an underage girl. That's when his whole wiener career went out of business.
Yeah, but he was a congressman. He's an adult. He's supposed to know better.
Well, you know, I guess apparently when he has a giant penis, you know, he can't keep it to himself. And
somebody was taking. I don't know if he was stupid enough to take photos of himself, or it was a sting operation, and the other side was taking photos. But there were photos.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but anyway, it's great to. I remember the commercial when Boston Red Sox traded Louis Tiant, the pitcher from Cuba, to the Yankees, and then he started doing commercials for Yankee Franks. It was crap. It was like roadkill hot dogs. Yeah. And he used to do in a commercial with his Spanish accent. It's great to be with a wiener.
Yes.
That was the commercial.
Very, very good to me.
Very, very good to me. I've had some great Frankfurters from, they're not cheap though, from Whole Foods. It said grass-fed black Angus beef. You know, they have that snap to them when you bite.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like a freshly made pork kielbasa, smoked kielbasa.
Well, I think I got to take off soon. I've that 10-hour day is catching up with me.
And I got myself hungry, so mosey on in and rustle up some victuals.
All right.
Like Granny Clampett used to say.
Oh, Granny.
Oh, Granny. Commandante James to Mick Von Raven. Till next time. That next time would be a good political topic.
We should talk about food one time too.
Oh, I didn't know you want. Oh yeah, we'll do a food talk show. We'll talk about
political and food after.
Well, a lot of guys, they can't even boil an egg. You know, a lot of guys are totally clueless about cooking.
I lived alone. I have to cook.
But cooking is, if you're really into eating good food and you happen to like it as a hobby, cooking in reality is not difficult.
Plus, women, if you can cook, they like that in a man.
Oh, I've been cooking my whole life, and you know what? I used to watch all the old cooking shows when I was a kid, all of them, and it was great. I used to. Justin Wilson cracked me up, and
this fake Cajun accent.
Yeah, I remember Justin. Oh, and Martin Yan Can Cook, the Chinese guy. He used to tell jokes and laugh at his own jokes. He owns a restaurant in San Francisco, but Justin Wilson says, you know, people ask me all the time, why are you always using olive oil?
Olive oil.
He says, I uses olive oil because I likes olive oil.
Olive oil is the best thing for you when you're cooking is olive oil.
I have two kinds of olive oil. I have a condiment extra virgin for flavor, and I have the
extra virgin for cooking.
Yeah, the cheaper one for frying. For like if I'm stir frying. And
you gotta be careful with olive oil, not too high of a heat though.
No, you can't. It burns.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what oil can take the high heat of a wok is peanut oil.
I like peanut oil, but that's not a health food oil.
No, it's monounsaturated, but if it's cold pressed, it's a good oil. If it's not cold pressed, what do I do? Oh, I've been buying the extra virgin organic coconut oil.
That's good too for you.
Oh, it's very healthy. And if you smell it, it smells like a Mounds bar, you know?
Mm.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll talk to you. I'll see you in cyberspace.
Okay.
And a cooking show would be good. Also, if I can get Eric Fraunfelter on, he's a drummer for a heavy metal rock band, and you two guys could talk about heavy metal rock.
All right.
You know, and stuff like that. I'll talk to him. You know, it should be good. You know, but all right, I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you over there.